Okay, buddy. All I'm saying is you agreed to do the show with me. You know, that's what you signed up for. So you're supposed to stay during the whole show. Okay. All right. We good? Okay. Hey, bourbon lovers. My name is Keith. This is Dex, and welcome to the Bourbon Shop. I lost my co-host already, but that's okay. So today I want to focus on, as you can see, Maker's Mark. And the reason I'm pulling this out is number one, is one of my favorites brands, Maker's Mark. I love it, and one of my favorite wheat bourbons. But often I talk to people and they ask me, "Can you really taste the difference between bourbons?" And of course, the answer for me is yes, especially when you go from one distillery to another. I say you go from a Kentucky uh, distillery to a Tennessee. Okay, yeah, you can taste the difference. But what about within the same family, same mash bill? So let's explore that and dive into a little bit of this Maker's Mark. If you have something to sip on, join me and let's get into it. Okay, so what I have here is the Private Select. We'll get into that. This is coming in, I believe, at 108.5 proof. This is the standard Maker's Mark. So I'm going to pull that over here. And this is cast strength. You know, you leaving again, that's going to cost you a lot of treats, buddy. That's what you're working for. Okay. And cast strength is coming in at 112.5. So the reason why I have this one, and yeah, it's a screw top, but don't trip. Corks do not make the whiskey taste better. But it sounds pretty cool when it pops, though. Yeah. But the reason why I have this is just to give myself a basic taste profile of the bourbon, which all this is built off of. So I'm going to have a sip of the standard first, just to set my palate for the rest. And let's see, we got the cast strength. All right, so if you ever had the cast strength and the Private Select, these are two excellent bourbons, two fine expressions of what the wheated bourbon should be. Again, I'm a big fan favorite of Maker's Mark. So let's start off with the just the 90, and I just want all these to breathe a little bit before we get into sipping and get a little air in there. Okay, so anyway, off subject for a second. Has anyone seen the movie? What is it called? Alta, yeah, by Tom Hanks. I saw that a couple nights ago, and man, it's a good movie. You know, it's one of those movies you can just sit back and get into. It's not action packed, but it's just everyday stuff that's going on. But it's something about that movie. For some reason, it activated my what do you want to call it? Allergies. Yeah. Because sometimes when I get allergies, my eyes tend to swell up with fluids. And so for some reason that movie activated my allergies. I don't understand that, because other than that means I was getting emotional, but it couldn't have been that. It's my allergies. We're gonna go with that. Okay, so just thought I'd put that out there. But Tom Hanks, just to carry on with this, a lot of people may not realize that he used to be a stand-up comedian, and sometimes it's hard to picture Some stand-up comedians doing that once they leave that frame of life and get into this acting. Now he's a major movie star now. I think about Jamie Foxx. You know, Jamie Foxx is another who started off with stand-up, and man, he's a major actor. He got mad skills when it comes to acting. So it's just something how some comedians transition and some others do not. But anyway, back to the bourbon. So this is the 90 proof. Um, all three are the same mash bill. Okay, so it's 70% corn, 16% winter wheat, and 14% multi barley. So the only difference is the way they age and the time that they age. Okay, so here's with the standard. Just to get my palate going. So with the standard, you're gonna get basic sweet notes. Um, you get the caramel, the brown sugar, a little bread taste, some spice, cinnamon. Your basic wheated notes to me. And one thing I always say about wheated bourbon, for some reason, they feel much richer, a much richer, buttery mouthfeel. So you sort of get that just from the standard. So a lot of people may walk by this because it's low proof, it's 90. But for a 90 proof, man, that's packs a lot of flavor and will hold up pretty good against some other bourbons. So if you haven't tried that or you've been passing it by because it's just a regular standard, it's nice to have that on your shelf. Good for cocktails. So let's move on to the private select. Now, the private select is a barrel where they allow store owners, or outlets to go and pick a barrel and also pick the staves that's going to be inserted in the barrel. So you have the barrel, which I think the private select is age 5 to 6 years, 5 to 6 years, and then additional I think it's 9 months with the oak or the wood staves inserted into the barrel. Now on the front on the label, you're going to see some numbers. Get up and show you that. Okay, and so that sort of gives you an idea of the taste profile that you may get out of this. Not guaranteed. Everybody's palate is different. But the name of this one is Fire Toasted Caramel Apple Crumb. And for the rest of this label, I'm going to need my glasses. So under these numbers, these are some of the taste profiles that they have in here, which is Baked Apple Pure, Seared French Cuvée, Maker's Mark 46, Roasted French Mediate, which is like a chocolate dessert. It's a chocolate disc with nuts and dried fruit baked right in. Delicious. And then there's Toasted French Spice. So it's an idea of what we may get out of the private select. So I'm going to start with the private select because it's 108 proof, 0.5, and then I'm going to work myself up to the 112. So let's just go to the nose. And what you get out of this nose right away is it's kind of floral, but you get the standards, which I'm sure I'm going to get out of all three of these. Is the caramel, the brown sugar, and the spice. But let's talk about what may set this apart. Now, it's much, of course, it's much more than going on with the 90 proof. More complex, more layers. So one of the things I'm getting out of here is like a roasted, no, not a roasted, but maybe like a roasted orange. and it's kind of grassy, but not in a bad way. And maybe some nuts like pecans. But that orange, like a roasted or a seared orange peel, it's really coming through. So along with the standard brown sugar, vanilla, and I'm getting some oak. Yeah, that's a pretty good nose. Now let's go for the taste. So it seems like that nose is really coming right through with the palate. You get the caramel, um, that vanilla and oak. I'm getting some black pepper. I'm gonna take one more. You're getting that fruit of like oranges or grapefruit or something like that. Um, the peel of those fruits are right there. I'm still getting that grassy taste, but again, it's not in a bad way. But I'm getting the grassy taste and a lot of oak with this, and some nuts. On the nose, it's more like pecans, but now it's more like toasted or roasted almonds. So this is a pretty good nose, man, and palate. So if you, I don't know if they still putting these out. You might still find these on the shelves. I'm gonna have to check into it, but these are pretty good. Each expression may be a little different. Um, so if you see them, it might be good to read the label and see if there's a difference in the numbering or the name of the bottle. Again, this is called Fire Toasted Caramel Apple Crumb, and let's see, the date on this is May 2022. So yeah, if you can grab some of these and give them a try, I would encourage you to do so. It's pretty good. Now, when we're talking about the finish with this one, that finish come in with the caramel, that orange, and I don't know, some kind of pie crust. It's lingering in the back, and it's a pretty decent finish. So big thumbs up, even a thumbs up for the little fella here. All thumbs up here. So let's go to the cast strength, which is coming in at 112.5. You get more of a alcohol taste, all that ethanol, but it's not overpowering, you know. So right off you get that traditional notes that you get in all three: that caramel, that sweetness, the vanilla. Get some oak here. I think I got more oak here though, but less oak in this one. So that's one difference. Another difference is I'm getting some kind of roasted apple and roasted grain, cinnamon and cloves. The spice is a little bit more pronounced in the cast strength. All right, let's take it to the palate. That palate is coming across with some cherries, apples, along with the caramel and the brown sugar, and getting a bit of vanilla. Hmm. I'm not getting I'm not getting the any kind of nutty taste as it was with the Private Select, but it's more of a roasted grain, roasted apple, a little bit more cinnamon. Yeah, that apple is really there. The apple and a cherry flavor. The cherry is really kicking. Now let's take a look at the finish. Yeah, the finish is like oak. That apple. It's like now I'm getting some kind of chocolate in the back end. So as you can see, with these, there is a difference in the taste profile. This one is a little lighter, of course, because the proof is different. But some of the key notes here is the more grassy note, the more oranges, roasted, not roasted oranges, but like seared oranges, more so than here. It had more of a nutty taste, maybe the pecans, or on the palate, it was more roasted almonds. But here, you get more of the roasted grain, like a roasted apple, and more cinnamon notes. And you get some a chocolate note that comes through. So yeah, definitely a difference between the two. Um, which one do I prefer? All three, for what they are, you know. But if I had to choose one, I think the Private Select is a little bit more interesting, because of the additional 9 months of aging with the oak staves in it, you know, or the wood staves that give it a little extra spice for the flavoring. But you won't go wrong with either one of these. Now, if you can't find the Private Select, because I'm not quite sure if this is still out or they're still making these, you can try this with the Makers 101 or the Makers 46. And those are two very fine expressions that I definitely enjoy. Maybe later down the line I can put those two against each other. Okay, so leave a comment if you tried any of these. What do you think about the Private Select? If you have it, which one do you have? What's the name of it? And what do you think about this cask strength? And do you taste difference between bourbons within the same, I say, family in a sense? Hey Dex, you want to come say goodbye? You want to finish earning your contract? Come on. Let's say, but come on, you can say goodbye. Over here. All right, good boy, good boy. Maybe you get your treats, huh? Maybe you get your treats. So hey, listen, what I want to thank you all for is because I just recently reached the 100 subscribers. So thanks to all of you. Please continue to support the channel. Share it with your friends and on your social media posts, outlets. Please share it there as well. Dex and I really appreciate it, don't we, buddy? That's right. So we're going to sign off, but as always, please like and subscribe. The best way to drink your bourbon, or the best way to enjoy your bourbon, is the way you like to drink it. And what's the rest? The best way to drink your bourbon is in a responsible way, right? Okay, good. Okay, folks, thank you. We'll see you next time on the Bourbon Shop. Take care. You did good this time, man. All right? But we still got to work on that contract. You got to stay the whole time. This is not going to work. You in and out like this. Oh, we're done. Okay.